Hi my honeys, welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I decided to do a chit chat, get ready with me, except I'm not going to be doing my skin, just the eyes. I really want to focus on the colorful eyeshadow that I'm going to do for you guys today and just kind of talk to you guys about my vitiligo. As you guys may have seen the title of the video, I'm going to be opening up and telling you guys my story of me having vitiligo and at the same time doing my eyeshadow. I'm not going to be showing you guys or like explaining to you how I'm doing my eyeshadow, but I will list all the products that I did use in today's video down below in that description box, so definitely check that out. But I just want to sit here, talk to you guys, and maybe if you guys don't know me on a personal level, hopefully this video will help you guys get to know me a little bit more. And yeah, and fill you guys in on my life struggle. Well, not anymore, but growing up. So if you are a return subscriber, hi you guys, welcome back. And if you are new, hi, my name is Sandy Harkeen, and in my channel, everything is pretty much all about beauty. And I'm really glad that you guys are here. So with that said, let's go ahead and get started. I have like 3 palettes in front of me and I will link them down below. I just couldn't make up my mind, and I'm going for like a blue purpley eye look today. I don't know, I guess we'll see where this takes me. So yeah, I have vitiligo, and I've had vitiligo, you guys, for quite some time, but I was not born with it. So my vitiligo started showing up when I was about, my mom says when I was like 8 years old was when she started to notice that I was getting vitiligo. My mom, obviously I'm Mexicana, I'm Latina, and my mom thought for the longest that it was, you know how kids are out playing around in the sun? So she thought it was manchas del sol from being out all day, you know, because a kid, when you're a kid, you know, you're playing outside. You're always outside catching some sun, and so she thought it was manchas del sol. But later did she know it was not. I started to get vitiligo, and it started off on my eyes, and I already prepped and primed them, but you can kind of see my vitiligo right here, like it's really white in that area. I'll post pictures throughout this tutorial as well, so you guys can see my vitiligo. It is not super like extreme and like very intense. Like people would not know that I have it unless I like actually point it out. But it started appearing on my eyes. So that's where it first started. And my mom was concerned at first, but then not really. She was kind of like, oh, maybe it'll go away, you know, because again, she thought it was like manchas del sol. So she didn't think too much of it. So whatever, I think it started to really kick in around, like I said, around 8 or 9 years old. But then it started to get really serious, and she started to notice them on the top of my feet. And she was like, okay, this is not manchas del sol, you know, like this is vitiligo. Or no, she actually didn't even knew what it was. She just knew that she had to take me to a doctor. So we went to a doctor here in the United States, and they literally just told her that it's vitiligo, but it's not curable. But they didn't really tell her how I got it. So what we did, typical of Mexicans, right? Before my parents divorced, we would go to Mexico like every other year. So my mom took me to Mexico, took me to un especialista, and they straight up told her that it's vitiligo and that it's not curable. So if you guys don't know what vitiligo is, I will post a picture here for you guys so you can see what vitiligo is. But I did go on Google, and I wanted to give you guys a description because I suck at describing stuff. So if you are new, I suck at it. So it says that its loss of skin color can affect any part of the body, including the mouth, hair, and eyes. It may be more noticeable in people with darker skin. So I'm mostly light skin. I'm not like super tan, but if I am out in the sun a lot, you can definitely, like my skin gets tan, but my vitiligo stays white, and it gets even whiter and brighter because I am more tan. So I look more brown. And so my mom, whatever, you know, we went to Mexico, and she went to the especialista, and the guy told her, yeah, you know, it's vitiligo. Unfortunately, like, it's not curable. So she can be on medication, but the reason why she got it, this is what the doctor said in Mexico. They said the reason why I got vitiligo is because soy bien nerviosa. So what that just means is that I'm very, I worry a lot, which as an adult now, I'm like, yeah, I do. I do worry a lot. And so bien enojona is what they were saying because when I was younger, I would like go like this, you know, like whenever like little kids do that when they get like really angry. So my mom said that I was like that as a kid. So the doctor was like, well, maybe that's what it is, you know. She just gets really nerviosa, and that's just the explanation that they gave her. Now, I don't know if that's 100% true or accurate, to be honest. But that's what the doctor told my mom, and my mom believed it, and they didn't give her medicine or anything like that. They just told her like, it's not curable. You know, it can spread within time. And my mom was really worried because she was like, oh my God, like, what if it gets really big and it expands a lot? And I wasn't really worried about it, to be honest. I was, at that time, I think I was like 14, 15, and it hadn't spread, but they would start to get more bright. And my mom was like, why are they getting so bright? My mom was like, honestly, you guys, more worried than I was. I was just like, I don't know what it is, but you know, it's kind of cool. But it also did affect me throughout time because, you know, once you start going into like middle school and high school, and you know, kids are cruel. So I was just very scared to go to school because of that reason. My cousin actually, so my aunt, my uncle married this woman who her daughter had vitiligo. So she's not like my blood cousin, but I still call her my cousin. And she had vitiligo, but she had it all over her legs. Like both of her legs were like filled with like vitiligo. And my aunt, she's my aunt. She's really wealthy in Mexico, and so like they own a lot of businesses, and so she has a lot of cash. And so they went to this doctor in Cuba, and in Cuba they prescribed her daughter some medicine that was literally like in a bottle, and you just have to apply it with like cotton rounds, and then just apply it on the skin, and it should control your vitiligo. Now, it won't take it away, but it will control it from getting really big. And I remember back then, my mom, she bought so many bottles, and I would use them. But you know, when you're a teenager, you're lazy, you forget. You're like, oh, tomorrow I'll start to apply it, tomorrow. And you know, I wasn't taking it very serious, but I did notice that it made a huge difference because they started to not go away, but they did start to kind of disappear. And like you guys will see in some of these pictures, like you can see my skin peeking through. I noticed that my skin was coming back because all of that was solid, you guys. Like there was no skin peeking through when my mom started to notice that I was getting vitiligo. And you know, it would just start to like really not go away because the doctor said it wasn't going to go away, but at least it's going to like minimize the expansion. So my mom was like, you need to continue to keep putting it on. Like, look, it's making a difference, and you know, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, see, mama, see. And then you guys, the years went by, and I just kind of was kind of like over it, and I didn't want to put the medicine on anymore. By the way, I'm doing one eye at a time, and I'll probably just do this one off camera, so this video is not like super long. Just went on through like middle school, or actually elementary school, you guys, was like my first ever. And it's weird how I remember this. So when I was in middle school, I remember this kid, right? He asked me one time, he was like, hey, what's that on your eye? Because you can see them, like obviously when you're little, like your eyes are more little. And he asked me, he was like, ¿Qué es eso? You know, like he was telling me. And I remember like the whole class looked at me, and I was like, so I was like literally, you guys, freaking out because I was like, ¿Qué le digo? Like I don't know what to say. I said, so embarrassed to say it. So I told him that morning I had drank milk, right? I had milk with cereal, and I accidentally you know, threw some milk on my face and the milk dried, and that's what it is. Like literally that's what I told him, because I was so embarrassed. I was like, what do I say? Like, I don't know how to explain it. I mean, get it, you're in elementary school, you're so little, like you don't know what to tell people. And middle school, it's kind of a blur, to be honest, but I will say that I would always wear long sleeves just because I was always so embarrassed. Like legit, you guys, I would wear like what I have on right now, because I have my vitiligo. Oh yeah, I didn't even tell you guys where I have it. So I have it, and like, it's kind of cool. I have them on my eyes, I have them under my armpits, I also have them on my elbows, and then I have them in between my thighs, on my hips, and on my nipples, like on both of my nipples. Like it's like in twos, which I think is so weird that I only have it there, you know, because I don't have it down my body or on my back at all. Like I literally have it in like, oh, and behind my ears. So I literally have it like 2, 2, 2, 2. So I thought that was really cool that my vitiligo was like that, or that it is like that. So then I just would always wear long sleeves because I wanted to cover it up. I was so self-conscious, you guys. It was like, just like the fact that I hated explaining to people, you know, like what it was. I hated telling them like, oh yeah, or making up an excuse, or I didn't even know how to explain it, like why I had it. And at that time I was wearing makeup already, so I was able to hide my vitiligo on my eyes, but on my body, like you can't hide that. And I didn't know very much about makeup at that time. So, you know, I didn't know how to really hide it. So on my eyes, I would just apply foundation and cover it up because I was always so embarrassed, you know, for people to ask me. And I would never wear sandals. I would always wear closed-toed shoes. I would wear Air Forces, like anything that would cover my feet, I would wear. And I never played sports because for that same reason. Like I never played sports because I was always so scared of what people were gonna say. Even during the summer, you guys, I would still wear long sleeves. Like I would never wear short sleeves during the summertime. But I would wear shorts, but with like my sandals or my Air Forces, I just didn't like people asking me again, you know. So, but I was more lenient towards it and not super like embarrassed about my feet anymore. And then in high school, you guys, I was really interested in like doing football. Oh, yo. I was really interested in doing volleyball. And I actually had one of the coaches like come up to me because I was tall, you know, around that time in high school. All my friends were like 1'5'5", but during high school I felt like everyone was like shorter than me. Me and my friend Erica were like the tallest girls. And so the volleyball and the basketball coach asked me if I wanted to play. Like they think that I would be really good. And in PE, I would always loved to play volleyball and I would love to play basketball. So, you know, one of the coaches reached out to me and she was like, you should come and try out. Like, we would love to have you. And one, we really couldn't afford it because it was pretty expensive and my parents didn't make that much money. And then two, I didn't want to show my arms because I was always so embarrassed. So that really, I feel like vitiligo really kept me from a lot of things. Actually, I wouldn't say that it's vitiligo. I feel like it's yourself, you know, like it's me. If I was literally one of those kids that didn't really care, you know, then I definitely I would have played basketball or volleyball. But because I let myself, you know, I let fear get to me, that I just never enjoyed high school in that sense, you know what I mean? And like playing sports or like, you know, doing fun things, because I was always really shy and I was really scared of what people were going to say about me. So I kind of let it, you know, control my life, I would say, you know, in a sense. And then you guys, when it came down to like dating, I was very like scared just because I was like, what are they gonna think about me? You know what I mean? Like I was like, what if they're like, what is that? Or like, I kind of felt like maybe they're gonna be like disgusted by me, you know? I don't know. Those thoughts were just coming to my mind when I was younger in high school. And then like my senior year, I started kind of to like loosen up a little bit more. I started wearing short sleeves, and then I just started to just not really care anymore. And dating wasn't even a problem for me either. Like even like throughout high school, I never had an issue of like finding a boyfriend, you know, not to sound like I see alguien chingona, but they never knew about my vitiligo, you know, and I felt like if I were to bring it up, I always felt like they were gonna be like disgusted, or they were gonna be like, ew, like, is it contagious? Like, you know, and I'll tell you guys a story now of an ex-boyfriend who was such a dick. That was just like always my fear, right? I was like, oh my God, they're gonna think I'm gross, or they're gonna think that this is like disgusting. My senior year, I just really didn't care, like I said, but I did have a boyfriend when I want to say when I was a sophomore in high school. He was older. He wasn't in school with me. He had already graduated. But he was such a punk. And I remember after we had broken up, because I broke up with him because he was such a cheater and a dog. I remember I legit told him that I wanted to break up with him, and he was so rude, you know, and it was like the thing that I was super scared of because of anybody, you know, making fun of my vitiligo. And he did, like, he was just like telling me that I'm like a Dalmatian. He's like, no one's gonna love you with your disease. He's like, vas a contagiar a la gente. He was like, oh my God, guys, he made me feel so low. But because obviously I was dumping him, so he was just saying everything, and I was so heartbroken. Even though I acted like it didn't hurt me, it hurt me so bad, because I went home and I cried and I was like, you mother effer, you know. And then months later he wanted to come back, and I'm like, no. I'm so glad I was smart enough to be like, no thank you. And then at the time too, like, you know, house parties were a thing too. So you know, people were so cool. I would meet different people from different schools, and they would just say that my vitiligo was so cool. And, you know, it started to get more, you know, you started to feel more accepted, even though you really just shouldn't care what people think, to be honest. But let's be honest, at that age, you know, you do think, you know, like you care what people think about you. If you weren't like that in high school at all, man, my hat goes off to you. I was literally that girl that would always be scared of what people were to think about her. That was me. I remember too, that ex-boyfriend, he had told me that no one was gonna love me. He legit said that, you guys. He was like, no one's gonna love you because you're weird, like your vitiligo is so weird, and blah blah. And like I said, he said I was gonna contagiar a la gente, and little do you know, I'm married. Been married for a very long time. So he was wrong about that. You know, don't let people define you for what you have, for what God gave you, you know, and que se lo piquen. You know, if they have something bad to say about you, of what you have. This is what makes me me and what makes me unique. You have to learn to really love yourself and, you know, love with what you have, what God gave you. He gave it to you for a reason, right? And that's what I think now. Obviously now I'm 32 and I don't really care what people think about me. I don't care what people say about me anymore. Maybe it's because I'm getting older and I really don't give a crap. If you guys don't care what people think about you, please give this video a thumbs up, because when you get to a certain age, you really don't give a crap. So I'm gonna go ahead, you guys, and apply some lashes, finish my skin off camera, and pretty much close out the video with you guys. It was a really quick one. I just wanted to do the eyeshadow with you, share with you my experience with vitiligo, and let you guys know that you're not alone, and we're all fighting something. If it's something personal, something, you know, that's physical, we're all fighting something, and I just want to let you guys know that you're not alone. So yeah, with that said, I'll be right back. Let me go finish the rest of my face, and yeah, I'll be back. All right, my honeys, so I am back. I went ahead and just finished off my entire face off camera, and my eyeshadow, I'm pretty okay with it, to be honest, with talking to you guys. That was actually really hard to do your eyeshadow while I'm talking. I found it to be very challenging, but we pulled through and here we are. So yeah, that's pretty much it, you guys, for today's video. Just me kind of telling you guys about my story about me having vitiligo. So the moral of the story is that if you guys have vitiligo or any other skin condition, you know, do not let that define you. Do not let that hold you back from doing things, because you guys, I really honestly regret so many things that I could have done in, you know, growing up, like in middle school and high school. And I feel like if I would have done sports, you know, it would have been a really more fun experience when it came down to school. So don't ever let that stop you guys. If you're watching me and you're young, if I could go back and tell my, like, from the ages of like 10 to like 14, 15, you know, is, you know, don't let that stop you from doing fun things or stop you from maybe one day becoming something that you could have became, you know, a lot sooner. So I feel like I would definitely tell myself, you know, girl, wear that short sleeve, wear those sandals, wear that bathing suit, and don't let anybody's, you know, negative opinions affect you. And I really feel like you can go really far if you don't allow it. And like I said, the beauty about this century now, the year that we're living in now and growing up, I feel like no one really cares anymore. Obviously, like, there's those mean people that always have to put their 2 cents in, but that's like with everything in life. But I feel like we live in a generation where like vitiligo and like skin conditions, like a lot of influencers are starting to come out and let people know that they have them, or with whatever that they are struggling with physically or even mentally. Wish I had someone who had vitiligo at my age, that I could look up to, or that I could just have something that we can relate together, and just feeling that you're not alone. I wish I had that, so that's why I decided to come out and tell you guys about my story. Obviously, I didn't show you guys, you know, more pictures of like the intimate places that I do have my vitiligo, but I mean, my elbows, armpits, and my eyes, the top of my feet are definitely very visible to the eye, and people can definitely notice those. But even sometimes people don't even notice, you know, to be honest. I feel like some people don't even care. I don't struggle with it anymore. I feel like I've came to like really love myself for it. You know, years ago, you know, I accepted the fact that I have it. Gracias a Dios, it hasn't expanded anymore. It's literally has stayed the same. But honestly, if God wants to expand my vitiligo, like bigger or whatever, I am okay with that, to be honest. Like, I don't even care. That is who I am. God chose me to have that, and I'm gonna embrace it, and I'm gonna rock it, you know. And I feel like you should do the same with whatever skin disease that you have. Girl, embrace it. We are beautiful. Everybody, you know, we all struggle with something. If it's not mentally, physically, emotionally, like, we're all struggling with something. So I had so much fun, you guys, here chatting with you. If you guys have any questions, feel free to comment down below, or if you want to DM me privately, feel free. I do have my Instagram, so feel free to DM me there, and I will answer any questions that you guys may have. If you don't want to write them down in the comments so everyone can see them, you're more than welcome to DM me. But this is my story. I love my vitiligo. I can't see myself without it anymore. It is who I am. Thank you guys so much for being here with me today. You learned something new about me. I mean, if you know me on a personal level, or you went to high school with me, middle school, then you must have already seen my vitiligo. But I do have a lot of faces and new followers. So I really, you know, if any of you guys are struggling with that, I just want to let you know that you're not alone, and I'm here for you if you ever need me. So thank you for spending your afternoon, morning, whenever you're watching me. So I love you. With that said, you guys, have a beautiful day, beautiful night, and do not forget to like, share, and subscribe before you leave my channel here today. And I will catch you guys on Saturday para un video en español. Besitos, los quiero mucho, and I will see you guys next time. Take care. Bye, guys.